Hi everyone, welcome to week 8 in the course. I'm primarily posting this announcement to review how we're doing on the exams and assignments in the course, and also to just to reiterate some dates and other important information. As you know, exam 2 closed Friday night at midnight. When I reviewed the exam, there were 3 questions that were dropped and everyone got credit for them. So the grade that you see in your gradebook now is correct. And I've contacted those of you who did not pass the exam and gave you information about meeting the 80% exam average and your overall course average. So hopefully that was helpful. And if you have any other questions, please feel free to email me. As far as the overall exam grades for this last second exam, the scores ranged from 66 to 96 with a mean score of 84. And the scores were normally distributed this time with 16 A's, 31 B's, and 15 failures, which I thought was actually interesting that the scores were that normally distributed. As far as exam number 1, the scores ranged from 78 to 96. There was a mean score of 88, and the scores were actually skewed for this one. There were 30 A's, 31 B's, and 3 F's. So that's interesting. Traditionally in the course, the second exam is more difficult than the other two, I think, for students, maybe because of the quantity of information and the new nature of the information that people haven't really been exposed to before. So I've had some questions from people about how to best study for the next exam. I suggest you start out by reading the Let's Talk and from there move on into the course readings, the required readings, focusing on the topics that you find in the Let's Talk. Also then review the forum posts and participate in forum discussions because that helps you to critically apply that information that you're reading. Then you can use the study guide questions, and if you have a study buddy, it's helpful to give each other critical thinking type questions about the content. So if this woman came to you with this scenario, what would you do? What would you think? That kind of information. If I gave you this diet history, what would you say? And what would you tell me to do? Those kinds of things are usually helpful. Then go ahead and take the course quiz and see how you do on that, and continue just to review the information. The office visit number 2 does cover the content in this module, so even if you haven't signed up for that, you may want to just review it. It'll give you a chance to have some additional practice. As far as the office visit number 1, everyone has their office visits returned to them, and I know it's hard to tell how people do on the assignment and to kind of judge where you're at because of the way Angel shows the grades in the Your Choice grade column. So as far as the office visit number 1, the scores ranged from 31 to 50 with a mean of 45, which would be 90%. And there were 29 A's, 13 B's, and 4 people who scored less than a B. So as far as exam reviews, we are going to be having our exam review Tuesday the 26th at 2:00 p.m. Eastern in our BBC room. Please try to attend if you can. We're going to go over all of the exam items and discuss them. Of course, if you would prefer or need to have an individual exam review if you're working or whatever, feel free to email me and we can set that up. I've spoken with several of you already, so if any of you would like to go over your test, just let me know. This coming week, we're in the middle of Module 7, which is Nutrition in Pregnancy, and we're discussing things like what nutrients people need in pregnancy, how to counsel women about their diet, and some special situations like obesity, vegetarianism, and how to care for women who've had bariatric surgery. The final extra credit opportunity is now posted. It's in the course forum, and it's due March 1st. I will repost it near the top so that you all can find it. And remember that we will accept all 3 extra credit assignments until March 1st, which is the deadline for the 3rd final assignment. Once that happens on the 1st, soon after that, I will be adding those grades into your grade book. So they should show up then. And if you do notice a discrepancy, you just have to let me know and I'll double check. Our forum discussions are continuing this week. I hope that those of you who've been participating found them helpful in terms of applying the content and your performance on the exam. I encourage you all to continue to participate throughout the next 3 modules and to discuss amongst yourselves how to apply the information that you're learning, because that is, as you know, the type of questions that you're going to be seeing on the exam and on boards as well. If you have not done your forum post yet, please remember to look at the rubric and be sure that you cover all the necessary areas so you can get the most points possible. That goes the same for the office visit, childbirth education, and SOAP assignments as well. Make sure you use that rubric. At this point, you should be finishing up your Module 7 readings and starting to think about starting Module 8 readings. and getting ready to participate in the forums. Upcoming assignment due dates. Office visit number 2 is due Friday of week 9, which is March 7th. If you have any questions, you can certainly email me or post them in the course forum, either way. Your SOAP note assignment, if you signed up for that, is due Friday of week 10, which is March 14th. And the childbirth education assignment is due on or before the week of Friday of week 11, which is March 21st. If you have not received your grade yet for your forum post or your oral office visit assignment and you've completed it, please contact Kelly and you can work that out with her as to why that isn't showing up in your grade book. If you do turn in your assignments early, it's our policy to have them back to you within 10 days of the day you turn them in. Now, we don't always grade them early if you turn them in early, although we may, depending on our schedules. So once the due date comes is when the clock starts ticking, so to speak, and we will try to have those back to you within a week, although sometimes it just takes longer than that to actually get them all graded. Your course reflection, importantly, is due the Friday of week 11, which is March 21st, and you'll find that in the term assignments folder. And also, you will get an email from Frontier asking you to fill out a course evaluation on TK20 is what it's called, the program. Please be sure that you follow that link and complete that course evaluation. The reason is you will be given an incomplete in the course by registration if you do not fill out the course evaluation. So it's required in the sense that if you don't do it, your grade will say incomplete. So once you see that in your in-mail or your email, your inbox in your email, sometime before the end of the course, I think during like the last week you should get it, just click that link and do the course evaluation so that you can see your grade when I post it. The course evaluation is anonymous. I won't know who said what, and it's really helpful for us to have your constructive criticism and your comments, things that worked well for you, things that ideas you have about maybe other assignments or ways we could do things differently that would be better for you. And it'll be really helpful for us to have those because we will be reading them before we revise this course for the DNP curriculum next term. So if you have any ideas, or if while you were working through the course you thought, God, it'd be really cool if we could do X, Y, and Z instead of this or something, then please let us know because we would love that feedback. As far as other important dates, the final day to withdraw is March 2nd. If you are considering withdrawing, I recommend that you add up all of your points, subtract them from 400, which is the number of points that you need to pass the class, and see if you think you'll be able to earn that many points on the assignments you have left and the last exam. Also, you want to calculate the grade that you'll need to get on the third exam by adding the 2 scores from exam number 1 and exam number 2 and subtracting them from 240, which is the 80% line. And that'll tell you what you need to achieve on the third exam in order to pass the course by the 80% exam rule. The final date to request an incomplete for the course is March 21st. If you want to request an incomplete, you need to have completed at least 3 of the 4 your choice assignments, exams 1 and 2, and your final course reflection. If you're considering taking an incomplete for some reason, send me an email and we can talk back and forth about it. Sometimes we can work with you to make it so that you don't actually have to request an incomplete. Other times we can give you advice about when to do what over break or something so that it'll be better for you. But please, if you're thinking about an incomplete, just get in touch with us. It's no problem for us to work that out. Our next open office will be tomorrow at 2 p.m., Tuesday the 26th, to do our exam review. And following that, the next BBC will be our open office on March 3rd. And actually, that's a presentation about psychological aspects of pregnancy at noon Eastern. So March 3rd, noon Eastern, is a presentation that will be recorded if you can't attend. And then our open office during next week will be on March 5th at noon Eastern. So please feel free to post any course-related questions you have in the course forum. And if you have any other questions or anything else that we can answer for you, please be sure to email us. And thanks very much. We'll see you in the forums.